I'm pretty sure this movie came out last year. When the world is under attack from terrifying creatures who hunt their human prey by sound, 16-year-old Allie, who lost her hearing at age 13, and her family seek refuge in a remote haven. The Silence is a new Netflix original film that stars Kieran Shipka, who is also starring in the chilling adventures of Sabrina. That's a really great show. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But this movie is essentially a mixture of like Bird Box and A Quiet Place from last year. So I wasn't truly excited to see this movie because I felt like I just saw it last year with A Quiet Place and a different kind of version of it already on Netflix with Bird Box. But I still sat down and watched this movie because I do like Kieran Shipka. She is great in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, so I was curious to see her do something a little bit different than that. But this movie lacks originality. The movie is filmed great, the acting is fine, the creatures are even decent, and they add some suspenseful moments to the movie, but the movie does lack originality. There's a mixture of a lot of talking and silent moments as well, whereas A Quiet Place was just really quiet and not a lot of talking in that movie. But in this movie, there's talk in the beginning. You get to learn about Allie and her family and how she lost her hearing at the age of 13. And then once you start putting pieces together, and the characters do as well, that these creatures feed off of sound. And so it is up to them to remain quiet as they can find a safe place to live. I thought the young girl who was deaf, it seemed like an advantage to her that she already knew how to be quiet, and her family knew how to be quiet as well because they learned sign language, but it seemed a little bit too convenient for the character in the story overall. It never really put some of the characters in a certain predicament where you're wondering, are they really going to get out of it? So I think that they played it safe with some of these characters when they could have gone a different route with them. The movie just lacks originality, from remaining quiet to the way that the film is shot to the overall story. I saw it last year, and Quiet Place was so successful that they wanted to kind of piggy bank off of that, and they had a Bird Box, which was a little bit different, and now we have The Silence, which is essentially just A Quiet Place. I thought the acting was fine. I don't have any issues with the acting. I think that it was overall decent. The creatures are cool as well, and there are some suspenseful moments throughout, but as an overall movie, I think it does lack originality, and it never tries to do anything different with its story. I wish they would have took a little bit of a risk with this movie. I feel like I've seen it before. The creatures are different from the creatures from A Quiet Place. They are pretty cool to watch, but overall, it's just a movie that I've seen before. It didn't stand out to me, and it was an okay movie. It's nothing spectacular, just lacks that originality piece. The acting's fine, it's suspenseful at times, but overall, just a movie that I've seen before. I'm gonna have to go ahead and give The Silence a C+. Thank you guys for checking my review for The Silence, the new Netflix original film that is just like A Quiet Place. So if you've seen A Quiet Place, you've seen The Silence. Make sure to check out my most recent videos right over here. My name is JustinWatchesMovies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.